can begin. Sorry. Another mistake is Kudrabu. Last night I told Kudrabu. There are two types of Kudrabu. Before jhana attainment, full absorption stage, there's also Kudrabu. Before path improving knowledge, there's also Kudrabu. Last night my mistake is before path knowledge Kudrabu I explained. But I must explain before jhana Kudrabu. Before jhana Kudrabu is change of lineage. How it changed? Change of lineage means the change of the six sphere lineage to five material lineage or immaterial lineage. This is before jhana stage Kudrabu. Before path knowledge, there's also Kudrabu. That Kudrabu is change of lineage. That change of lineage is the change of worldly lineage to noble lineage. Yesterday I said this Kudrabu. Sorry. So please correct. Today we will discuss about Dhammanupassana. Now, before we are discussing about Dhammanupassana, I want to explain the series of teaching. In this Mahasri Prana Sutta, Buddha first teach Kayanupassana. Kayanupassana is contemplating body as body. In this Kayanupassana session, Anapana Samatha meditation also include, because this is also Kaya. What Kaya? If you can discern four elements in your breath, you can see breath is nothing but a group of small particles, kalabas. These kalabas, if you analyze, at least there are 9 types of materiality, such as earth element, water element, fire element, wind element, kala, uddha, flavor, nutritive essence, and breathing sound. So they are a group of kalabas, so they are also called kaya or body. When your concentration develops further, you may see here nimitta. The breath began nimitta. When your concentration develops further, then this nimitta will become Patibhaga nimitta one day. Counterpart sign. What is that counterpart sign, Patibhaga nimitta? This is also originally produced by mind, but mind produced materiality is only internally, not externally. Now, from outside the nostril, you can see this nimitta also. This nimitta is originating base cause is only mind, but outside the nostril, in external, this is temperature produced materiality only. How temperature produce? In mind produced kalabas, there are, in each kalaba there is fire element tejo. That tejo is called temperature. That temperature can produce uncountable new generations, not only internally but also externally. So external counterpart sign is that temperature produced materially, but that temperature is in mind produced materially only. That mind is not ordinary mind. This is especially excess concentration or absorption concentration mind. Concentrated mind only. That concentrated mind can produce uncountable kalabas. In each kalaba, in every kalaba there is fire element tejo. That tejo temperature can produce uncountable generations up to external world. So this is also a nimitta is nothing but a group of small particles, a group of kalabas only. So they are also called body. Whether this translation is correct or not, I don't know. They translate this body as body. Because they arise as a group only. Because of this reason, in Kayanupassana, samatha meditations such as Anapana, etc. also include. Then Buddha especially emphasized discerning materiality. Again, contemplation is contemplation of feeling. In that Vedananupassana chapter, Buddha especially emphasized Vedana. Another chapter is Chaitanya-nupassana, contemplation of mind as mind. This chapter especially emphasizes mind. So, materiality, feeling, consciousness. 3. Then the remaining mental factors are there still. So the remaining mental factors are how many? Sister Susila teaches 52 mental factors. Among 52 mental factors, only feeling is directly Buddha mentioned in Vedananupassana, contemplation of Vedana as Vedana. So the remaining 51 are still there. So because of this reason, to contemplate the remaining 51 mental factors, Buddha also teach Dhammanupassana. But feeling, consciousness, the remaining mental factors, always they arise together. They are associated in each mind moment together. But 51 or 52 mental factors not always arise together. They are separately. In one mind moment, 8 mental factors. In some mind moment, 10 factors, 10 mental factors. In some mind moment, 33 mental factors, etc. In this way, they arise. Not all together. So, according to cognitive process, they arise. In each mind moment, you must discern feeling. When you discern feeling, you should not discern feeling alone. You must discern associated mental formations with feeling also. When you discern consciousness, you must not discern only consciousness, you must also discern associated mental factors also. When you discern other mental factors, how you should emphasize? Only among these 51 mental factors, contact is important. So there are, when you are discerning ultimate materiality, there are 2 ways. 4 elements meditation in brief way. 4 elements meditation in a wider way. Only these 2 ways. You can do any way. You can do both, no problem. When discerning mentality, there are 3 ways. By way of feeling, or by way of consciousness, or by way of contact, person. For some meditators, while they are discerning mentality, feeling is very predominant. Feeling becomes predominant factor. When feeling becomes predominant factor, they can emphasize feeling. But feeling alone is not enough, because there are associated mental formations in each mind moment. So they must also discern associated mental formations which arise together with feeling. But for some meditators, consciousness cognizing object very clear. If consciousness is very clear, then they can discern consciousness. But consciousness alone is not enough. Why? Consciousness always arises together with associated mental factors, chedisikas. Chedya and chedisika, they always rise together. So because of this reason, when you discern chedya consciousness, chedya alone you must not discern. You must also discern associated mental formations according to cognitive process. Then for some meditators, contact phasa is very clear, predominant factor. While they are discerning mentality. If contact phasa is clear, predominant factor, then they can begin by way of contact. But contact alone is not enough. Contact always arises with associated mental formations. These associated mental formations also you must discern according to cognitive process. So, while you are discerning mentality, there are three ways. You can begin by Vedana, by way of Vedana, or by way of Citta, or by way of Phasa. But Vedana alone, or Citta alone, or Phasa alone is not enough. You must always discern associated mental formations together. Because of this reason, these three are safe. If you practice Vedana-nupassana, contemplation of Vedana, you must also discern associated mental formations which arise together with Vedana. When you discern consciousness, when you emphasize consciousness, you must not alone discern consciousness, you must also discern associated mental factors which arise together with consciousness. When you discern phasa, phasa is predominant. You must discern not only phasa but also the associated mental formations which arise together with phasa. If you can discern in this way, these three contemplations, contemplation of feeling, contemplation of mind, contemplation of Dhamma objects, all these three are same. Before you are discerning this, one of these or these mentalities, but you must already discern ultimate materiality. Without discerning ultimate materiality, without understanding ultimate materiality with your direct knowledge, you cannot discern ultimate mentality according to cognitive process. Because, for example, idle cognitive process. I question among idle cognitive process, there are different mind modes altogether, 40 mind moments. Among 40, I consciousness arises depending on I base only. If this is only one mind moment is very quick. That I consciousness arises together with associated 8 and 7 associated mental factors. Altogether, there are 8 mental factors, mental formations. If you cannot discern eye transparent element or eye sensitivity, you cannot understand this eye consciousness when associated mental formations arise here. You cannot understand. So because of this reason, without discerning ultimate materiality, if you discern ultimate mentality, you cannot understand according to, you cannot discern cognitive process. According to cognitive process, these mentalities, mental formations. In each mind moment, you cannot discern associated mental formations also. So this is the way of practice of Satipatthana. Satipatthana, they translate foundations of mindfulness. So if you want to practice Satipatthana method, according to this way of explanation or this series, you must practice. So, how you should contemplate the remaining mental formations? except when mental factors by way of contact. So Buddha explains here, number one, 5 Nivarana sessions. In Dhammanupassana there are 5 sessions. Among 5 sessions, number one is Nivarana Papa, Nivarana session. Nivarana is, what is Nivarana? Nivarana is hindrances, they translate. The hindrance session, how Buddha teach? Vidincha Bhikkhave Bhikkhu Dhammesu Dhammanupasi Viharati. Ida Bhikkhave Bhikkhu Dhammesu Dhammanupasi Viharati Vinchasu Nivaranesu. Vidincha Bhikkhave Bhikkhu Dhammesu Dhammanupasi Viharati Vinchasu Nivaranesu. Ida Bhikkhave Bhikkhu Sandawa Ijadan Kami Chanda Atime Ijadan Kami Chanda Dipajanadi. Asandawa Ijadan Kami Chanda Natime Ijadan Kami Chanda Dipajanadi. Yathaja Nupanasa Kami Chandasa Upado Hodi Dinja Pajanadi. Yathaja Upanasa Kami Chandasa Pahana Hodi Dinja Pajanadi. Yathaja Bhinasa Kami Chandasa Ayadi Nubado Hodi Dinja Pajanadi. This is the way of instruction how you should practice Nivarana session. This is number one. There are 5 Nivaranas. Now this is number one. Nivarana, Kami Chanda Nivarana. What is the meaning? How bhikkhus does a bhikkhu contemplate Dhamma objects as Dhamma object? What are Dhamma objects? The remaining 51 mental factors are also called Dhamma object. But in Kayanupassana session, Buddha emphasized materiality. In Vedananupassana session, Buddha emphasized Vedana, feeling. In Chittanupassana session, Buddha emphasized Chitta, mind, consciousness. In the Dhammanupassana session, Buddha emphasized the remaining 51 mental factors. So, ultimate materiality, feeling, consciousness, 51 mental factors, altogether they are ultimate mentality and materiality only. Again, this ultimate mentality, materiality divide into 5 portions, they become 5 aggregates. So, 5 aggregate method also mentioned in this Dhammanupassana session. In the same way, when this ultimate mentality and materiality divide into 12 parts, they begin 12 ayanas, 12 phases. These 12 phases session also mentioned in under the Dhammanupassana. Again, while you are contemplating these 5 aggregates or 12 ayana, 12 types of phases, you must try by way of 7 enlightenment pattern, Bojjhanga. So Bojjhanga session also mentioned in this chapter. The last one is Four Noble Truth. Four Noble Truth chapter, how you should practice Vipassana by way of Four Noble Truth. This is also mentioned in this chapter. So because of this reason, this Dhammanupassana is very wide. So number one is Nivarana session. So how does bhikkhus a bhikkhu contemplate Dhamma objects as Dhamma objects? These are 5 aggregates, 12 aranas, etc. These are Dhamma objects. Here in this Buddha's dispensation, a bhikkhu avoids contemplating Dhamma objects as Dhamma objects in terms of 5 hindrances, Nivaranas. How does a bhikkhu avoid contemplating Dhamma objects as Dhamma objects in terms of 5 hindrances? So in this way, for Kami Chanda Nivarana, sensual desire, Buddha explains 5 sentences. Number one is Sandawa Ijadan Kami Chanda Adime Ijadan Kami Chanda Dipajanadi. There being a sensual desire in him, A bhikkhu understands there is sensual desire in me. This is very important. What is sensual desire? There are, in this case, sensual desire is 6 types. Attachment to the color, attachment to the sound, attachment to the smell, attachment to the taste, attachment to the tangible objects, attachment to the Dhamma objects. Among Dhamma objects, 52 mental factors also include. The remaining 16 subtle materialities also include. Kala is Rupa. Rupa Ramana is Kala. Saddha Ramana is sound. Gandha Ramana is smell. Rasa Ramana is taste. Pottabha Ramana is tangible object. Tangible object means earth element, fire element, and wind element. These 3 elements are called tangible object. You can touch here. If you touch, you can feel hardness, roughness, heaviness, or softness, smoothness, lightness. This is earth element. You can feel heat or cold. This is fire element. You can feel pushing and supporting. This is wind element. When you are touching, then you can feel these 3 types of tangible objects only. So these are tangible objects. The remaining materialities, all materialities among 28. The remaining 21 materialities are Dhamma objects. They are included under the Dhamma objects. Attachment to this object is called sensual desire. Among these Dhamma objects, eye sensitivity, eye transparent element also include. Have you attachment to your eye? You have attachment to your eye. You have attachment to your ear. You have attachment to your nose. You have attachment to your tongue. You have attachment to your body, heart, etc. These are Dhamma objects. You have attachment to kala. This is very easy. Kala, sound, smell, taste, tangible object. So these 6 types of attachments are called sensual desire. If you have sensual desire in you, then you must understand, I have sensual desire in me. If you do not understand, you cannot escape from the round of rebirth, because you do not understand, do yourself well. If you have attachment, then you must understand, I have attachment. What is this attachment? How you should discern? So if you want to discern attachment, for example, taking kala, if you have attachment to the kala, if you want to discern this attachment, how you should practice? Number 1, you must discern eye sensitivity. Number 2, you must discern mind-o pointer. Then you should try to discern the kala object which you have attachment. When this kala object impedes both doors, at that time incognitive process arises. Among these incognitive process, number 1 is phytoadvantage consciousness. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5 is decision consciousness. These 2 types of consciousness decide, oh, this is very beautiful. Then if you decide this object very beautiful, then strong powerful attachment will arise. This attachment not automatically arise. Your mind create this attachment. Is it true?
Yes.
This is very dangerous. Very dangerous means as long as you accept this attachment, you cannot escape from the round of rebirth. This is fundamental cause. Because of this reason, Buddha emphasized the origin, the noble truth of the origin of dukkha is tanha, craving, attachment, or greed. not greed. Greed. Okay. This is the origin of dukkha. Buddha emphasized, because it creates many wholesome and unwholesome karmas. Oh, if you want to be man, then you must accumulate wholesome karmas to be man. If you want to become woman, then you must accumulate wholesome karmas to become woman again. Not only like that, but you also want to meet each other this life. Is it true? Then you must accumulate wholesome karmas. Because of this craving, you accumulate this wholesome karmas. Then if you are accumulated in this way, wholesome or unwholesome karmas, then these karmas will produce again and again. If they can produce new rebirth, new existence again and again, then you cannot escape from the round of rebirth. You must always take patisandi in your mother's womb again. Then you are liable to old, you are liable to sick, you are liable to death. Again, but old, sick, death, but old, sick, death. In this way, round of rebirth will continue because of this craving. Because of this reason, Buddha says, if you have sensual desire, then you must try to understand, I have sensual desire. Is it good? If you want to escape from the round of rebirth, you must try to understand this sensual desire. But this sensual desire arises in the, for example, endocognitive mind process, only jhana mind movement. But this sensual desire is craving or lust or greed. It cannot arise alone. It always arises with associated mental formations. So, if you can break down the compactness of mentality, at that time only you will understand ultimate materiality, ultimate mentality. If you cannot break down the compactness, then you cannot understand ultimate materiality. Only you may understand, oh, this is sensual desire, or this is craving, or this is attachment, or this is lust. In this way, only superficially you may understand. You cannot penetrate the ultimate material mentality, because you cannot break down the compactness. So to break down the compactness, how you should practice? Number one, you must discern eye sensitivity. Secondly, you must discern mind-o pointer. Then you should try to discern the color which you have attachment. When this color impedes both those, at that time only this ideal cognitive will arise. In the place of seven jhana movement, this craving will arise, this sensual desire will arise together with associated mental formations. What are associated mental formations? Sister Susila explains in Projata. I have no Projata. So I cannot explain. But you should try to discern this. Maybe 20 or 22 or 90, etc. These mental formations. At that time only you will understand, I have sensual desire. But another sentence, this is Sandawa Ijadang Kami Chando, Atime Ijadang Kami Chando Dipajanadi. There being a sensual desire in you, you must try to understand, I have sensual desire in me. This is one sentence. Another sentence is Asandawa Ijadang Kami Chando, Natime Ijadang Kami Chando Dipajanadi. There being no sensual desire in you, you must try to understand there is no sensual desire in me. If there is sensual desire in you, you must try to understand there is sensual desire. If there is no sensual desire in you, then you should also try to understand there is no sensual desire in you. How you should try? Because there are wholesome dhammas and unwholesome dhammas, they cannot rise simultaneously. If there is wholesome dhammas rising and passing away, unwholesome dhammas cannot rise together. If there are unwholesome dhammas rising and passing away, in the same way, there wholesome dhammas also cannot rise. So because of this reason, if you have no sensual desire, what mind movements arising in passing away? Usually wholesome dhammas. But when wholesome dhammas arise in passing away, usually they arise according to cognitive process only. If you can this cognitive process, then we can say you already understand passionate consciousness, resulting consciousness, and wholesome consciousness. So they all will include. In the same way, when you are discerning wholesome dhammas, especially which are associated with sense desire, sensual desire, at that time also you will understand passionate consciousness, resulting consciousness, as well as wholesome dhammas. So you should try to discern according to this cognitive process. Then, if there is no sensual desire, what type of consciousness will arise? Maybe dosa may be arise, this is also unwholesome dhamma. Delusion also may arise, this is also unwholesome dhamma. Or maybe conceit, jealousy, envy, etc. This also may arise. You should try to discern these unwholesome dhammas also. But not only taking color as object, but also sound, smell, taste, tangible object and other dhamma objects. Taking these different objects also, these unwholesome dhammas, including sensual desire, will arise. You should try in the same way, system cognitive process. When this sensual desire is absent in your mentality process, you should also try to understand, oh, there is no sensual desire in me. When it will not arise, now you are listening my Dhamma talk. Have you any attachment? Now present only. No attachment. You are listening Dhamma only. At that time, no attachment, no anger. Wholesome Dhammas are successfully arising in passing away. How you should discern? For example, you should discern eye sensitivity. Ear sensitivity. Okay, sorry. Then number 2, going up window. Then please listen my Dhamma sound. When the sound impedes both doors, you will, oh, this is very good Dhamma. Buddha's teaching. In this way, if you decide, then you will understand wholesome dhammas, listening Dhamma talk. These wholesome dhammas will arise in jhana place, 7 jhana place. These wholesome dhammas may be, if you have happy mind, there may be 34 mental factors. These 34 mental factors are very important. While you are contemplating samatha meditation, at that time also these 34 are working. When you are contemplating vipassana, when you are practicing vipassana, these 34 only. These 34 are very important. Well, in every stage of vipassana, these 34 mental factors are very important. You should try to understand when these 34 mental factors are rising and passing away successfully, again, at that time, sensual desire will be not rising in your mind. Because wholesome dhammas are rising. When wholesome dhammas are rising and passing away successfully, at that time, before wholesome dhammas, at least there are Phaido and the body consciousness, Iyado consciousness, Iya consciousness, receiving consciousness, investigating consciousness, decision consciousness. These functional and resulting consciousness also will arise. If your object is very clear, maybe after jhanas, there are 2 types of registering mind also will arise, together with associated mental formations. So they are functional, resulting in wholesome dhammas. When this functional consciousness, resulting consciousness and wholesome consciousness are rising and passing away successfully, at that time, sensual desire is not present in your mind. So, this wholesome dhammas also you must discern again. When sensual desire is not absent, at that time, this functional resulting in wholesome dhammas are successfully rising passing away. You must also try to discern these mental formations according to 6 cognitive process. So, If you have sensual desire, you must also understand I have sensual desire. If you have no sensual desire, then you must also understand I have no sensual desire. But understanding means according to cognitive process, you must try to understand the ultimate mentality only. So, to understand this ultimate mentality, first you must try to discern ultimate materiality. Without discerning ultimate materiality, you cannot discern this ultimate mentality up to ultimate truth stage, pramata. This is not enough. Another Buddha taught. Yathacha anubanasa kami chandasa ubado hodi denja pajanati. How? He must try to understand how there comes to be the rising of non-rising sensual desire. How this arises? This is dependent origination. You should try cause and effect. Why this sensual desire arises? Why? This is important. You accept different objects. Because of object also, because of base, because of object, because of phasa, contact. These are present objects. Not only this, because of the associated mental formations. Without associated mental formations, sensual desire alone cannot arise. So without base, heart base and eye base, etc. Without base also, sensual desire cannot arise. Because in this sensual world, all mentalities arise depending on their own different base. Especially here, for sensual desire, without heart base, it cannot arise. Always it arises depending on heart base. This is heart base also one cause. Because of kala, in which this goes, sensual desire arises. This kala also one cause. Okay? Then there may be kala, there may be heart base, but if there is no joiner, how this sensual desire will arise? Joiner is phasa, contact. That contact connects object and mind to abhiya and mind. So because of this reason, oh, very good, very good. You have a lot of sensual desires. So this is phasa also one cause. But phasa alone cannot arise. Sensual desire alone cannot arise. There must be associated mental formations. These associated mental formations are also one cause. Another cause is manasikara, ayoniso manasikara, unwise attention. This is very dangerous one. Very dangerous one means, oh, this is my wife. Oh, this is my husband. If you have such type of attention, this sensual desire is very easy to arise. Very, very quickly will arise. Is it true? Yes. If you have unwise attention, this is my son, this is my daughter, then this sensual desire will arise very, very quickly. So this unwise attention is proximate cause. What is unwise attention? Unwise attention for idle cognitive process, unwise attention is paido-advancing consciousness. This is very important one. That paido-advancing consciousness by moment, there are 11 mental formations, 7 universals, obligation of the mind, Vittaka, sustained initial obligation of the mind, Vittaka, sustained obligation of the mind, Vichara. These two are also included. Then another is Viriya, Adhimokkha, decision. So these 7 universals are feeling, perception, volition, one-pointedness, life, faculty, attention. These 7 universals, this initial obligation, sustained obligation, and decision, altogether 10 mental formations, and then one type of consciousness, altogether 11. These 11s are very dangerous ones. If their decision is wrong, a wholesome Dhamma will arise. If their decision is right, wise attention, wise decision, then wholesome Dhamma will arise. This is proximate cause. So at that time you should try to discern dependent origination. Dependent origination is not this alone enough. But that sensual pleasure, sensual desire arise dependent on heart base. What is heart base? You must discern 4 elements in the heart. You can see different types of kalabas. If you analyze these kalabas, in some kalabas there are karma bhong kalabas. There are also karma bhong, karma produced kalabas. Temperature produced kalabas. Mind produced kalabas. Nutritive acid produced kalabas. What type of karma? You must go back to up to the past life. Past life you may have accumulated one type of karma, wholesome karma, which will produce in these materialities. So you must trace dependent origination again. So in this case, yathaja anupanasa kame chandasa upado hodi dincha bhajadadi. You must try to trace this dependent origination. But among these causes, most important cause is proximate cause is phyto-advancing consciousness. After cognitive process, there are many cognitive processes will arise. Among these cognitive process, number 1 is advancing consciousness. This is very important. Their decision is very dangerous. If they decide on any wrong way, then unwholesome Dhamma will successfully arise in passing way. How they decide? Super. Very beautiful, very beautiful. You are always seeing with open eye. Very beautiful. You like very much. If you hear song, oh, very good. If you smell, oh, very good. If you taste, oh, very good. If you touch, oh, very good. So these you decide very good. Super, beautiful. Hands on. In this way, if you decide, that decision is called super nimitta. If you decide in this way, super, then sensual desire will increase day by day. When it is increased day by day, you cannot debug, you cannot divorce each other. So day by day they will increase. If they are increasing day by day, they will pull not to go away from each other, not to go away from this war, not to escape from this round of rebirth. So they are always pulling. Because of this reason, why this sensual desire arises, you must try to understand. This is also one cause. Then, this is third sentence. Then fourth sentence, the Buddha taught. No? Yathaja pahinasa yathaja upanasa kame chandasa pahana hodi tincha vajanadi. A bhikkhu understands how there comes to be the abandoning of the reason consciousness, reason sensual desire, rising sensual desire. How you should remove this sensual desire? You should try the method how to destroy this sensual desire. You should also try to understand this method. how you should practice. So there are different ways. Among different ways Buddha explains. Number one is Asubha. Asubha Bhavidabha Ragasa Bhahanaya. To destroy attachment, craving, you must practice Asubha Bhavana. Asubha Bhavana means there are 10 types of Asubha Bhavana. Taking up repulsiveness meditation. But many Americans, they don't like repulsiveness. So they use another word, attractive nature. Attractive nature object. Asubha Nimit. So there are 10 types of Asubha Nimit. Number one, the swelling corpse. Number one, swelling corpse. Number two, the balloon corpse, color change blue. Number three, the fostering corpse. Number four, the fissured corpse. Number five, mangled corpse. Number six, dismembered corpse. Number seven, the cut in dismembered corpse. Number 8, the blood-smeared corpse. Number 9, the raw wormy corpse. Number 10, corpse that has begun skeleton. So you must try one or two or three or maybe these different types of corpse as object. How you should practice? Now, some meditators, they have a day, Anabana Abdu Chana or Kasina, one Kasina Abdu Chana. For them it is very easy. Imagine from their fourth chana. With the assistance of the light of wisdom, they should focus the corpse which they had been experienced before. And then they should pay attention as particular attractive object or repulsive object. Particular, in this way they should pay attention. Then strong, powerful absorption will arise on that corpse object. At that time, you should maintain this full absorption up to 1 hour, 2 hours, etc. Imagine from that full absorption, if you descend 5 jhana fetters, you can see here 5 jhana fetters clearly. This is one way of Asubha Bhavana. This is anime Asubha Bhavana, Avinyanaka Asubha Bhavana. Another way of practice is 32 parts. In Grimananda Sutta, these 32 parts, if you contemplate these 32 parts as particular repulsive, then this meditation also called Asubha Bhavana in Grimananda Sutta. So, one part or many parts taken as object, you can contemplate them as particular. Then you can attain jhana. This is only 5 jhana because the object is very repulsive. Because of this reason, without initial obligation and sustained obligation, you cannot maintain your concentration for a long time. Because of this reason, you cannot go on second jhana, third jhana, etc. from this object. Because object is very repulsive. But for some meditators, if they can see the corpse, if they had been experienced this corpse maybe 2 years ago, from 2 years up to this day, this corpse may be changed systematically, different stages. Maybe now skeleton only. So, with assistance of their fourth jhana light, they can, if they can discern these different stages, then within one setting also you can discern these different types of 10 types of corpse, Asubha. In the same way, with the assistance of fourth channel, like if they discern 32 parts, they can easily understand 32 parts. Maybe if these 32 parts you divide into different parts and put on the table, which part do you prefer? Maybe this is very important. So your wisdom faculty should do this type of such type of work. Your wisdom faculty have enough power to divide these 32 parts and put on the table. And then you can ask to yourself, which part do you prefer? At that time, sensual desire may disappear slowly. So because of this reason, you should try to understand the cause to destroy sensual desire. But this is only samatha. But in vipassana stage, there is also asubha, one type of asubha bhavana. How you should contemplate asubha in vipassana. If you had been already discern ultimate materiality, ultimate mentality in their causes as nature, dukkha, anatta, and then again you must discern ultimate materiality. If you see these kalapas, please penetrate their nature. They are always associated with bad smell, bad color. So because of this reason, they are beautiful or not? Beauty? No beautiful. Asubha, repulsive only. So seeing this bad smell, association of bad smell, bad color, etc., you should also pay attention this ultimate materiality as asubha. Not only nature, dukkha, anatta, but you must also pay attention as asubha. This is vipassana. Another ultimate mentality, how you should pay attention vipassana. Wholesome dhammas, they produce different types of bad results. After that, they will produce to be reborn in four woeful states. So they are repulsive only. So all our wholesome dhammas are repulsive. So you must contemplate them as nature, dukkha, anatta, asubha. But again, there are wholesome dhammas. How they can be repulsive? Some wholesome dhammas are also repulsive. How? Depending on these wholesome dhammas, some unwholesome dhammas may arise. Do you understand? Maybe you offer here food, for example. Rice is cooked, not fully cooked. You have a lot of happiness. Depending on wholesome dhamma, happiness arises. Is it true? So, sometimes you may offer cook, I can offer. They cannot offer. In this way, you may have a lot of pride. So, depending on wholesome dhamma, unwholesome dhammas may arise. This is one. In the same way, now you are meditating. Oh, they have no concentration. I have a lot of concentration. You may have a lot of pride. So, depending on wholesome dhamma, unwholesome dhammas may arise. If depending on wholesome dhamma, if there arise unwholesome dhammas, then these wholesome dhammas are also repulsive. So you can contemplate them as asubha. This is in vipassana. That asubha bhavana is the only instrument to remove, to destroy sensual desire. So you must try to understand how you should remove, how you should destroy this sensual desire. These are instruments to cut the sensual desire. Another is, when you practice vipassana stage by stage, systematically, one day, when your insight knowledge becomes mature, then at the end of your insight knowledge, improving knowledge will arise stage by stage. Taking nirvana as object. If you attain hardship, your arhat knowledge will destroy completely without remainder this sensual desire. Okay? So, at that time, you will understand the instrument which cuts the sensual desire completely without remainder. But previously, you may practice samatha asubha bhavana. That asubha jhana can destroy sensual desire temporarily only. If you get into jhana 1 hour, then at that time, sensual desire will not arise. But when you are practicing vipassana, that vipassana insight also can destroy sensual desire temporarily only. When you do not practice vipassana at that time, this sensual desire will visit to your mind again. But if you attain path improving knowledge, especially up to arhat knowledge, then your sensual desire will not arise. So this is one instrument, one way. Another way is obligation to the development of access concentration. This is not only asubha meditation, but other access concentration, such as anabana or kasina, or any access concentration or full absorption state. At that time also this access concentration and absorption concentration can destroy sensual desire temporarily. Temporarily means when your concentration is developing further, if you can maintain this concentration 1 hour, 2 hours, etc., at that time this sensual desire will not visit to your mind. So this concentration also can remove. Because of this reason, if you are practicing samatha, then you must try to practice samatha continuously in every bodily posture. Why? This sensual desire may visit to your mind frequently, because you are staying as a householder. So because of this reason, many attachments are occasionally visiting to your mind. So to protect this, you should put your mind on your meditation object only. So to put this way of practicing, then you must try number 3, guarding the sense doors. You must guard sense doors. How you should guard your sense doors? There's one sutta, Komopama Sutta. Tortoise. Is it true? Tortoise? Tortoise. One day tortoise are also searching for food on the bank of a river. Hawks also searching for food on the bank of river, pasturing there. Tortoise also see the fox. Fox also see the tortoise. So fox approach to the tortoise to eat. At that time, tortoise holds two hands, 2 legs, put in his shell. His head he put in his shell. His tail he put in his shell. 6 limbs he put in his shell. Fox cannot eat because shell is very strong. Then fox waiting. If one limb is coming up, I will bite and eat. In this way, fox is waiting, but he cannot eat. Tortoise also understand. He is waiting for me. So he cannot pull out his limbs. So slowly, fox became tired and go away. In the same way, because you must put your mind on your meditation object. This meditation object is your shell. In your shell, you must always put your mind. If you cannot put your mind in your shell, fox is defilements. They will bite you and eat. Is it true? Yes. So because of this reason, you must always put your mind in your shell. What is shell? Meditation object. When you are practicing samatha, You must put always your mind in your shell. When you are practicing vipassana, vipassana is your shell. You must always meditate vipassana. At the time, fox or the defilements will not visit to your mind. So, guarding the 6 doors is from 6 doors, eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body, mind door. From these doors, the defilements not to visit to you. So you must guard these 6 doors. How you should guard? You must always stay in your share. What is share? Meditation object. Okay? Please try. Another is moderation in food. This is very important. If you eat a lot, you know, meditate well. But if there's no enough food, and then also you cannot meditate. Moderation food means what? Moderation in food. For example, if you are eating 40 morsels, 40 morsels, 40 spoons, then you should eat 35 only. Instead, you should drink water for 5. If you are eating 60 morsels, 60 spoons, then you should eat only 55. 5 morsels you should not eat. Instead, you should drink water. This is moderation in food. But there's also another explanation. This is Venerable Buddha's suggestion. Another explanation is, as a meditator, you should eat only 4 or 5 morsels only. No more. Then instead you should eat, you should drink water. This will be noble friends. Also things. Maybe you should associate that with noble ones. Noble friends, good ones, who can teach you how you should contemplate, how you should meditate. In this way, they can discuss with you how to remove your sense desire, how you should destroy this sense desire, etc. In this way, if they teach you, it is beneficial to you. If you associate with gossip, many persons who are always trying to gossip, if you associate with such persons, your concentration will fall down. So, especially in this case, who have a lot of compassion to you, as well as can teach you systematically, such type of teachers is necessary, help is necessary. Another is stimulating thought that help the accomplishment of the object in view. Stimulating thought is basically which the thought which will be stimulated to you to remove this such type of sensual desires. So such type of thought is necessary or good. What such type of thought? Maybe, for example, how you should practice Asubha Bhavana, or you should practice Asubha in this way, how you should practice Vipassana, or you should practice in this way, how you should practice Anapana, or Anapana you should practice in this way. So such type of help is necessary. Such type of talking also necessary if you do not understand well. If you understand well the way of practice, it is not necessary to discuss too much. If you do not understand, then it is necessary to discuss such type of talk. So because of this altogether, these 6 ways. If you practice these 6 ways, then one day when your insight knowledge becomes mature, then at the end of your insight knowledge path and fruition, knowledges will arise, taking Nibbana as object. Thus, this path and fruition knowledges will destroy this sensual desire completely without remainder. At that time, Buddha taught another sentence. Yathaja Bahinasa Kame Chandasa Ayade Nubhadra Hoti Dincha Bhajanati. A bhikkhu understands how there comes to be the future arising of sensual desire, which already had been abandoned before. So this is especially referring Arhampa knowledge. When you add Arhampa knowledge, when you are reflecting your defilements, you will not see any defilements which are present in your mental series. Other than you will understand, oh, this is Arhampa knowledge is the only instrument can destroy the sensual desire completely without omega. Other than only sensual desire will be ceased completely without omega. You should understand this instrument also. If you do not understand this way of practice, then sensual desire will be always visited into your mind. So these are 5 ways. I will explain again. Sandawa number 1, Sandawa Ijanda Gami Chanda Atime Ijanda Gami Chanda Di Bhajanati. There being sensual desire in you, you must try to understand there is sensual desire in me. Asandawa Ijanda Gami Chanda Natime Ijanda Gami Chanda Di Bhajanati. There being no sensual desire in you, you should try to understand there is no sensual desire in me. No, number 3, Yathacha no banasa Kami Chandasa Ubado Hodi Tincha Bhajanati. You should try to understand how there comes to be the arising of sensual desire which not yet arisen before. How sensual desire arises in you. You should try to understand because of you pay addition beauty. Then another is Yathacha Obbanasa Kami Chandasa Bahana Hodi Dincha Bhajanati. You should try to understand how there comes to be the abandoning of reason, sensual desire. Number 5. Yathaja Bahinasa Gami Chandasa Ayade Nubhadra Hodi Dincha Bhajanati. You should try to understand how there comes to be the future arising of reason, sensual desire. You already destroyed by Arhampa knowledge. So this 5 you must try to understand. So if you try to understand this sensual desire in these 5 ways, then you may understand, you must already understand that you had already discerned ultimate mentality, ultimate materiality together with sensual desire. You must already discern dependent origination. You will understand. Then you must contemplate them as nature dukkha nanda up to Arhampa knowledge. So all are included in these 5 sentences. If you understand sensual desire in this way, then you will be escaped from the Dhamma Nibbana. Okay? Any question? Any question?
SayaDaw, so seeing an object, a color that you like, so the mind adverting consciousness, and then there's a decision that comes immediately? How that
immediately is not easy. Not easy means when color image both shows, usually phytoadverting consciousness arises. But this is cannot decide properly. After cognitive process, there arise bhavanga. After many bhavangas, there arise cognitive process, taking this color as object. This cognitive process, again they are arising. If they arise, 5 times, for example. At that time, 5th mind-cognitive thoroughly can decide. Oh, very good, very good, very good. This decision is especially mind-cognitive process. But in fact, the mind-cognitive process also, there's decision. But that decision is not real decision. They translate this Vavatapandiviya. Vavatapandiviya means as if they are decided only. Because mind-cognitive process understand only just kala. This kala is whose kala they do not understand. Mind-cognitive process. But after mind-cognitive process, many Bhuyangas, after many Bhuyangas, they mind-cognitive process. Then Bhuanga, then mind-cognitive process. Then Bhuanga, then mind-cognitive process. In this way, many cognitive process arise. When they arise up to 5 times, at that time, the 5th mind-cognitive process or 4th mind-cognitive process can decide, oh, this is my son, this is my daughter, this is my wife, this is my husband, this is US dollar. In this way, they can decide easily. At that time only, that decision produces strong, powerful sensual desire. But in idle cognitive process, there's also sensual desire. This is very weak. Because of this weakness, they cannot produce any new existence. They can produce bad results in kind of body. Body means between bad consciousness and that consciousness along the line. They can produce different bad results.
Sayadaw, you were talking about how people become attached to their attachments. And I was just wondering, what happens to somebody who has family that becomes an arahant? How do they relate to their mother, their father, their children, their spouse if they're married? To the observer looking at this person, how would they be relating to those same family members now that they've lost all attachment?
When they become arhat, for example, they cannot stay as a householder. Quickly they must go in forth. They must ordain as a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni. And then they can maintain their lives. But if they begin arhat, for example, arhats, they will not see this is son, this is daughter, this is father, this is mother. How they see? There is Saddata Vihari. Saddata Vihari, the meaning of Saddata Vihari is permanent dwelling. Their permanent dwelling, permanent house, permanent dwelling house is anicca, dukkha, anatta. They always see 5 aggregates, they always see 12 iranas, they always see 18 elements, they always see dependent origination factors. They are always anicca, dukkha, anatta. They always see. Intentionally, if they try to see man or woman, at that time only they see man or woman temporarily. But always they are seeing anicca, dukkha, anatta. As soon as they arise, they are always passing on. They can see always. So because of this reason, for arhats, they have no attachment. Because arhat knowledge destroying completely without remainder the attachment to each other. But for arhat stage, there is one stage, anagami stage. That anagami path knowledge also 75% they can see anicca, dukkha, anatta. Because of this reason, they also can destroy sensual desire. Since we are sensual desire only, not for attachment to the Brahma. So, because of this reason, although they may see to each other, they have no attachment to each other. Because sensual attachment they already destroyed by anagami path knowledge. Because of this reason, Sometimes I have told about Visakha in Dhamma. One day Visakha went to the monastery, he listened to Dhamma talk from the Buddha, he became Nagami. When he came back to his house on that day, he never see his wife Dhammadina with attachment. Dhammadina became surprised. Every day when he came back from Buddha's monastery, she is always welcoming. He also very happy, she also very happy. But on that day, Dhammadina gave her hand. Visakha never touch, never see. Okay, they have no attachment. Because Nagami part, that's trying completely this attachment. In the same way, two children also say. But Dhammadina also have enough parami. So she asked, this Dhamma can be realized by men only, or women also cannot realize. Oh, women also can realize this Dhamma. Oh, so then I will ordain. Please forgive me to ordain as a bhikkhuni. Okay, you can go. Then, yes, wall. Do you know wall? They put on the wall Dhammadina. They carry with shoulders to the monastery to ordain as a bhikkhuni. Then Dhammadina tried hard. She became Rahat. So after she had been already ordained Rahatship, one day Visakha and Dhammadina they meet to each other. Visakha want to test Dhammadina whether she will come back to household life or not, whether she will disturb or not. So because of this reason, he tests many Dhamma questions. Dhammadina gave proper answers. So these answers, question answers are mentioned in Mishima Nikaya. This is called Chula Vedana Sutta. Because of this Chula Vedana Sutta, Dhammadina began the top Dhammakattika, like Sister Susila. Top Dhammakattika among bhikkhunis.
So if they had children,
Yes.
would those children be suffering now that they've both become arahants? Would they be left by their parents?
It depends on children's parami. If children have enough parami, they can also become arhats. But if they have no parami, if they don't want to meditate, then how we can say? Okay?
I have one question. I didn't quite understand one of the connections in your talk. You said if you have one of those mind door processes, let's say the fourth or the fifth, and then you have that decision consciousness, and I think it was with the decision one that there were 11 mental factors.
Maybe that decision is 12.
Oh,
That
okay.
12.
And then you said one of those, maybe it was the mind door adverting consciousness, has 11.
Maybe mental patterns are 11. Plus with consciousness they are 12.
Okay, and then you said that one is the dangerous one because that decides beautiful.
Maybe dangerous means for unwholesome dhamma, this is danger. For wholesome dhammas, this is not dangerous. Sorry.
So for unwholesome then, and then you go back and you do dependent origination and you look at karma and see the effects. But how, let's say with color, how does that reduce the defilement or the idea that something is beautiful? You may understand the reason why, but then why do you need to understand the reason? If you know that it's not good, then just practice those methods that you said. Why understand the reason? So you don't do it again or something?
Maybe this is also previous experience. This is important. Previously, he had been experiencing such type of object. Again. So he had been experienced or he had been feel this is good. So this is previous. Again, next time if you see, oh, this is very good, that decision appear again. Because of previous experience. But if you experience any object, if you do not care, then such type of sensual desire will not arise. But if you had been experienced before, such type of object is, if you again meet, then that decision is very strong because of previous experience. In other words, this is called Yoniso Manasikara or Ayoniso Manasikara. For wholesome Dhammas, this type of consciousness, mind-embodied consciousness, is called Yoniso Manasikara. For unwholesome Dhammas, this is Ayoniso Manasikara. Real Yoniso Manasikara or real Ayoniso Manasikara is unwholesome Dhamma or wholesome Dhamma only. Really. But that wholesome and unwholesome Dhammas are previous experience. Previously you had met this object before. Then when you meet again this object, then you decide your decision may be Yoniso Manasikara or Ayoniso Manasikara. For example, now you had been this ultimate materiality, ultimate mentality. And then they are causes. And then you had been already contemplate them as nature, dukkha, anatta. These are your insight knowledge is working. Again, next day when you meditate again, then if you contemplate this nature, this ultimate mentality, materiality, they are causes as nature, dukkha, anatta. Then this mind advantage consciousness became powerful because of previous experience. So at that time, that decision is very strong. In the same way, when you see any color object, as long as you see, you do not decide this is very beautiful. But there must be previous experience. How previous? Maybe few minutes or few seconds or maybe few hours ago, you had been experienced such object. Again, when you experience again this object, at that time, this mind advantage consciousness very strong, powerful because of previous supporting cause. So at the time that decide this is good, this is not good in this way. Do you understand?
I think so. So the reason you focus on karma then in that dependent origination is to see that build-up of attachment to that particular object, right?
This is also we call this is temperament. Temperament means as a latent tendency. This temperament is as a passing way. For example, when you are accumulating wholesome Dhamma in previous life, that wholesome Dhamma is surrounded by attachment. Open example is, for example, you have one girlfriend. When you are accumulating wholesome Dhamma in previous life together with that girlfriend, you wish for to meet each other in future, in this life, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So, attachment temperament as a attachment, lustful temperament is always going as a underlying tendency in your mentality, materiality series. Because of this reason, in this life, when you see to each other, that a lot attachment is appear very strong. Because of this wholesome Dhamma. Because this wholesome Dhamma is surrounded by attachment to each other. Like our Visandra in Yasodhara, Visandra in Pada, Mati or like Siddhartha in Yasodhara. When Yasodhara sees Siddhartha, she cannot control her mind. She has a lot of attachment to Siddhartha. Siddhartha also says. Because of previous wholesome Dhammas. These wholesome Dhammas are surrounded by attachment to each other.
Okay, so that's the origin of the suffering that you're determining, and then you use these methods that you describe to make the cessation of suffering.
Yes, very good.
Okay.
Now you are single. If you wish for to be single always, then you will be bhikkhu one day.
Sayadaw, I'm a little bit confused about two people having the desire to be together in a future life, because that points to like some entity that travels from life to life that could. How is it possible that two people can come together in a future life?
There are four causes. Maybe I'm explaining only one cause. Saddha, Sila, Tyaga, Pinya. Saddha is a lot of confidence to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha in the law of the activity of the law of karma. Saddha. Both must be equal. This one. Saga, generosity. Generosity must be both equal. If maybe husband want to offer, but wife against, what for? Prohibit. But wife want to offer, but husband prohibit. This is within us. They have same saga, same generosity. But both must have same saga, same generosity. This is one. Then sila, purification of virtue. Both must be same purification of virtue. Husband, no purification of virtue. He always drinking. Wife has purification of virtue. This is also impossible to meet each other in future. So another is pinya, wisdom faculty. What is wisdom faculty? In this case, pinya is especially vipassana, insight knowledge. Husband also practice vipassana up to vipassana stage. He already discerned ultimate materiality, their causes as anicca, and that. He also understands, wife also understands in the same way. So these four factors must be same. If these four are same, then it is sure they will meet in future. But if one of these are not same, then it is not sure to meet each other in future. Because of the one has no virtuous one. He always kill, he always steal, he also do sexual misconduct, etc. Always telling lies, etc. One is observe purification of virtue. They cannot be same. One will go to hell, one will go to heaven. So they cannot meet each other.
So is it as though two karmic streams are just...
Yes. Maybe, for example, our Bodhisattva, Siddhartha and Yasodhara, they have same. Same means, if Siddhartha offers sons and daughters to others, Yasodhara never prohibit. If Yasodhara offers, then Siddhartha never prohibit.
Yes.
They have same purification of virtue. They have same understanding. They have same generosity. So because of this reason, always they meet to each other along samsara.
It seems so, I have to say it seems so unlikely because from it seems like karma follows us, and something that's ripening now might be from 5 lifetimes ago or something. So for two people to match up like that seems impossible.
Maybe some is impossible. Impossible means not always. Human mind is always changing. Now they may have such a desire to meet to each other, Sometimes they quarrel. They don't want to meet each other. So when it changes, because of this, we cannot easily always. Okay, sharing my. Idame Bonya,
Idame Punya,
Asawakaya,
Asavakaya,
Mahahodu,
Vahamodu,
Idame Bonya,
Idame Punya,
Nibanasa,
Nibanasa,
Pichio,
Pachayo,
Hodu,
Hodu,
Idame Bonya,
Idame Punya,
Sabhasadana,
Sabhasatana,
Bhajima,
Pajema,
Kisabe,
Esabe,
Mesama,
Mesama,
Punya Baga,
Punya Baga,
Labandu,
Labantu, Sadhu.